Porter's Five Forces is a great business model to use when it comes to strategic planning, whether that's for the business or certainly sales and marketing. It was created by Michael E. Porter from Harvard Business School in 1979, and it's used pretty extensively in any types of business planning. So I want to take you through some of the elements of Porter's Five Forces and how to use it in your business. There are variations of the graphic, and there are 4 points that cover the center point to make the five forces. In the center, we've got rivalry amongst existing competition. And that's the things you're dealing with right now in terms of what you and your current competition are doing and where you're placing yourself, where you're fighting. The main areas of Porter's Five Forces are actually around the edge. And these are things that can impact your business, sometimes without you even knowing. So the first one is threat of new entrants. I'm going to give you a few examples all the way around Porter's Five Forces. But essentially, the threat of new entrants is how easy is it for someone to enter your market space? I'll give you a couple of examples. The first one is a very high barrier to entry. If you invented a pharmaceutical drug, you've got to go through lots and lots of development and years of testing before you can actually get your product to market. So that's quite a high barrier. There's a second example at the other end of the scale. If you're selling something that's a commodity and is easy to get, then what's stopping one person in their bedroom signing up for the same thing, getting goods delivered from around the world, and then shipping those out? A third example is Amazon. They've got a huge element of something called brand loyalty, which means there's a lot of loyal customers that shop every day on Amazon. So if you're looking at producing an Amazon competitor, how hard would you have to go in that space to actually overtake Amazon? It almost seems an impossible task. Generally, when the threat of new entrants is a high barrier, you'll probably enjoy just a few competitors that are sharing a good market share, and you don't have to become too price sensitive or aggressively go at the competition. The next bit of Porter's Five Forces is the bargaining power of buyers. And basically, if they've got a lot of suppliers to choose from, that's generally when your business will start to suffer with margin erosion, giving away turnover as a loss leader, all just to gain market share. The printing sector is a great example of this. I came from the printing sector before I started marketing. And because there were a lot of printers, even locally, clients had a lot to choose from. Print buying companies then represented clients. The clients would give all their print purchasing spend to a print buyer, and the print buyer would hammer down the cost to 50 or 100 local printers. And a lot of printers died because they couldn't cope with the margin erosion. It also makes, when you're in this space, it also makes relationships very difficult with clients, because as soon as you semi-upset a client, they can change just like that. And brand loyalty becomes less of a strength in this area. The next area of Porter's Five Forces is threat of substitute products. I'm going to fly straight into a great example here, the vinyl record. All of a sudden, the CD came along. From getting 10 tracks on a vinyl album to getting 20 tracks on something this size that's easily transportable and makes the mobile listening experience much better on things like Sony Walkmans. The person that made CDs must have been thinking, fantastic, I'm going to have a long period of the CD being out there. And then the iPod pops in, where we've got literally thousands of songs crammed onto a small device that fits in the back pocket, and CDs took a nosedive. Now, we rent our music on Apple and Spotify. Most of us don't even buy music anymore. And we can listen to it on our phones rather than an iPod. So there's a great example of a threat of a substitute product. So you need to look at your product or service and think about, can it be replaced with something else? Can my classroom training be replaced by online training? And does that cause me a threat? Rather than try and get 50 people on the seats here in London, my courses can now go worldwide online without much overhead cost. And finally, you've got the bargaining power of suppliers. Similar to the customers, the buyers, you've got it on the other end as well. And this happens when you're a customer, and this has happened to me in the print industry. When you've only got a few suppliers that supply a certain thing to you, and they've got more than enough business to make them happy, then they can start to dictate the prices upwards rather than downwards. One story from the print industry was, went into the office one day and there was 3 letters on my desk, and they were from the local paper mills. And they all said, we are having a 7% increase this year. Close that one, open the next one. We are having a 7% increase this year. Third one, 7% increase this year. So these guys had actually got together in a bar or a coffee shop and actually said, let's do this, because if we all do it, then we're going to force the customer to pay us more. And all of us in the print industry in that area had no choice but to pay the extra prices, because we didn't have the choice to go out and say, no, I want to buy at the same price as I did last year, because I can't pass 7% on to my clients. So when you do your plan, for whether it's a business plan, a marketing plan, sales strategy, fill one of these out. They're really, really, really useful, and do it for you and have a good look at what sort of things could impact you internally and externally. So if you got anything out of that video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. There's a link in the description. We cover everything from marketing and sales strategy to implementation. And if you need any help in your business with any of the things that you see on our channel, then please contact me on my email just here. I'll leave a link down in the description below for a 2-hour free session with myself if you want to take me up on that, if you want help with your business and your problem, whether it's anything through the sales and marketing funnel and anything through planning and implementation of an effective marketing and sales strategy. But I know that you'll get some value out of that, so please take me up on the offer. And thank you all for watching.